Plagiarism.
You finish your some homework.
Yeah, of course.
Can I look at your work?
Sure.
I don't finish my homework and it's due tomorrow. Can I copy your work?
No, because it's considered plagiarism.
What? What is plagiarism?
Plagiarism, in the most basic definition, is basically when you use someone else's work and claims it as your own. There are 4 types of plagiarism that can be categorized. First is direct plagiarism. Second, self-plagiarism. Third, mosaic plagiarism. And fourth, accidental plagiarism. Direct plagiarism is when you copy someone else's work word for word and you don't use quotation marks or acknowledge the source. Self-plagiarism is when you take parts of one of the works that you did before exactly and you put it into a recent work. For example, if you've taken part of your high school essay and put it in a recent college essay, that is considered self-plagiarism. Mosaic plagiarism is when you take phrases from a source, let's say from an essay you found online or from a voice recording that you've listened to, and you don't use quotation marks in the work that you've copied in. And lastly, accidental plagiarism is when you accidentally forget to cite the source, when you group the words similar to the original source, or when you misquote the sources. They can be unintentional, but it still counts as plagiarism. Plagiarism is a serious issue, especially in college education, and it should be dealt with very seriously as there are consequences for those who indulge in the acts of doing so. So for those who are lazy and think that the easy way out is to copy someone else's work, you are so wrong.
What are the consequences of the plagiarism?
There are many types of consequences from plagiarism. It can be personal plagiarism, professional plagiarism, or ethical plagiarism. These consequences depend on where and how plagiarism occurs. Now, consequences of plagiarism include students' plagiarism. Students accused of plagiarism will not receive credits for their assignments, especially in the case where students intentionally plagiarize. They will be failing an assignment or even failing a course if their grades cannot be recovered. Some schools take plagiarism very seriously that they will suspend or even dismiss students for plagiarizing. Having ethical offense in their academic record can affect them when entering the college. Next, professional plagiarism. The consequences of a business person, politician, public figures, or any professionals committing plagiarism is very effective that it can end their career and it will be difficult to find another job as well. Legal repercussion. Copyright laws have been seriously violated when a citation is omitted. Writers have the right to sue plagiarists that use their materials without citation.
How about the cost?
The cause of plagiarism is people's ignorance. People are confused with their action whether it is plagiarism or not. They think that they just borrow the information from the sources. Another cause might be from personal factors such as procrastination and attitude. Some people might have poor ability to manage time and effort, so it forces them to copy. And there are some people who do not want to work hard. Instead, they prefer to take a shortcut, such as plagiarism.
How do you avoid plagiarism?
So there are basically 4 ways to avoid plagiarism. First, the most important things when doing any academic papers or project is that you should always understand and be familiar with your topic. By understanding and knowing your subject you are doing, it will help you better come up with your own words and idea rather than restatement of someone else's definitions. Second, you should always paraphrase the information you have found. Paraphrase usually give it's about changing words and without changing contents when restating someone else's ideas. However, paraphrase is not just only changing words, but you also have to change the sentence structure as well. Third, every time you paraphrase, you must always give a citation. A citation usually comes in parentheses in which you give information about who said or wrote the information you have earlier paraphrased and used in the paper. Lastly, fourth, you must always include a reference or worksite page at the end of the paper. The reference page needed to be very specific and it should include information like the author's name, the title, the publisher, publications, and usually the source where you found the information.
Finally, I understand what is plagiarism is. Remember, don't copy other works and claim as your own works. Please do your work.